Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mattles. This is the Foreign Hope Open Qualifier. 2 spots on the line to get to the main 6-player event. And we're going in to one of the semi-final games. One more round before they get to the qualification round. And the pressure really starting to build. Down in the lower left-hand position, we've got the blue Terran player representing eStars. It's Botvinnik. And his opponent, spawning to the top right, playing the XMG, we've got the red Protoss player, Socke. I'm of course Mattles, the map is Overgrowth. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Big shout out to our sponsors that are on the lower of the screen, as well as of course everyone who's subscribed and who has donated towards my channel. You have helped put this event on. Without the subscribers, without the donations, I wouldn't have the $1,000 to put into this prize pool. To be fair, that $1,000 is pretty much everything I've earned this year in terms of casting. So hopefully this event goes well. That's all I can say. Anyway, this is going to be an awesome series. It's the first PvT we've had of the night. There's not very many Terran players in this bracket. They're a bit of an endangered species at the moment, but we've got one here in Botvinnik. Froz is also in the bracket. I'm not sure if there's anyone else. I haven't had a chance to have a thorough look, but regardless, it's Terran fighting, you know. Anyway, Botvinnik, he's opened up with a barracks into a gas. So probably going to be seeing a Reaper out of him just for some scouting informations. Nothing too crazy. Otherwise, Socke, he is just chilling here. He's got the cybernetics core. Coming on down, he went for 1 gate, 1 gas, 1 cyber core. All very standard stuff up against Terran. Nothing crazy there. Reaper, right on cue, coming on out. Going to be jetpacking his way across the map. I don't think jetpacks is a good form of travel, if I'm honest with you. I think possibly the best form, although as you see whenever a Reaper dies, it may not be the safest because it kind of explodes a lot. And I don't think an exploding jetpack would be a comfortable way to die. I think in all of the Starcraft universe, I'm trying to think if there'd be a most preferred way to die in the entire Starcraft universe. I think for me, I'd probably go with a DT slicing me in half. Like, I'd just be a worker and just like, boom, gone. Because for a start, it's invisible. So first you just be there, minding your own business. Just like, yeah, what up? I'm just chilling, having a bit of a good time. And then suddenly swipe, and then you're dead. You just instantly die. No pain, no suffering, really. So yeah. Reckon a DT? That or a snipe from a ghost. Depends how accurate the ghost was. Anyway, Reaper bouncing around, having a bit of fun at the moment, not doing anything crazy. Trying to dodge that mothership core. She's frantically chasing it. Reaper getting forced away yet again. Meanwhile, second and third barracks coming on through here from Botvinnik. Actually, his natural base is about 3/4 done. So just ramping up that production, grabbing out a ton of Marines. So okay, going for the robotics bay though, so nothing crazy on his part. Not going to be going for any Oracle harass or such things. Botvinnik going to be quite happy actually that his Reaper's still alive, because that's actually granting him a whole load of vision. Just being able to see everything that is going on will be very, very helpful. Quick little jump around now from this Reaper. Staying up. Basically, the longer you keep this Reaper alive, the better. This Reaper doesn't often particularly get any damage done, but what it is able to do is get valuable scouting information. If we look at the vision, the robotic facility's been seen, all the timings have been seen. Really important information for Botvinnik and just knowing what he needs to get out. Going for concussive shells first. Okay, so this is fairly cool actually. Concussive shell coming down early usually results in a fair amount of aggression coming through. It allows you to catch the odd stalker off guard if it's across the map, pick it off. Also could signal a nice little move out. Of course, the mothership core does have the energy to go for a photon overcharge on the Nexus, so that's really what a Terran player is generally going to be trying to trigger if they move out early on. And just to waste that energy. It's very rare that you'll see a Terran player actually go full on and try and actually engage after the photon overcharge. They have to basically sacrifice all those units if they're going to do much good. Instead, just moving out with the 1 Marauder, a couple of Marines, hoping to catch a stray stalker around the map. The Observer, though, should be able to see this army coming on through. Boom, right on cue. Socke sees that, so knows what's coming for him. He'll position his army appropriately to minimize any potential losses. Botvinnik now starting up his second gas as well as Stim on its way. Both of these two just playing very standard Protoss versus Terran at the moment. Very early tech actually coming down from Socke. That's the one thing I would say. These Marauders and Marines may actually end up going for this now. There's no sentry, and they were able to get very far forward. The Marauder was focused down, because without Concussive Shell, it's going to be a lot harder to do anything with this. But the Mothership Core going to get taken down. that's a good pick-off. A Mothership Core and a couple of probes in exchange for, obviously, a few Marines and a Marauder. What a good trade. It's a lot of gas that you're able to pick off there. So, 1 worker killed. Nothing insane. If we look at the resources lost, Botvinnik did lose a little bit more, but I believe in the gas losses he lost about half. And gas early game is really a very precious commodity. So, having picked off more of that of your opponent, especially a Protoss player who's quite gas intensive, is going to be very helpful for you. Pride counts now coming down from Socke, and considering he went very early up into the robotics bay, he is spending a lot on his tech. And what is he doing to allow that to happen? Well, he's sacrificed additional production. Those 2 additional warp gates only just now kicking into action, which is heavily delayed. If we look at Botvinnik, he's had all the scouting information. He hasn't seen the robotics bay. Didn't quite manage to get quite that far ahead. So yeah, keeping a very nice check on everything that's happening at the moment. Still waiting. Still hoping something fun is going to be on its way. We've got Botvinnik taking his 3rd base at the moment. Still nothing too much else coming on in terms of super aggression. Just a war prism on its way out. That poor probe. Is the probe going to survive? It will. No one wants to see a Colossus running towards them, especially one lone Marine. But still gives Botvinnik a bit of information about the timing of that 3rd. He'll know he's ahead. If we look at the production, we've got, of course, the medevacs coming on through. This war prism going literally round the very most edge possible. I don't think it could actually get any closer, to be honest. Running on forward. This medevac push is, of course, always frustrating. But Socke's going to be able to hit before it's too much of a problem. You should get a couple of zealots in here. And all of Botvinnik's army is actually forward now, so this could be a bit of a problem. But Botvinnik is splitting his forces. Going to double drop into the main, but this is seen by an observer. But the trouble is there's no observer over this side, so it's going to pull most of the army back for Socke in order to deal with that. That'll expose his 3rd. The War Prism is warping in a couple of zealots now, but it's not doing too much. In we go. Next is taking a bit of damage. There's a Colossus all on its lonesome. Time Warp trying to be used by that Mothership Core will allow the Colossus to stay alive. The 2 medevacs were forced back from behind. Meanwhile, the drop coming in from Socke. Those Zealots coming on down, trying to get a little bit of damage. There's not much in the way of defense here. Just a couple of Marauders trying to achieve anything possible. All in all, though, these Zealots infuriatingly annoying. Warp Prism just deposited them, runs along, goes down towards the 3rd, where it's probably going to warp in some more Zealots. Continue on the annoyance. Nice bit of damage being achieved at the moment. Meanwhile, Botvinnik, with his 4 medevacs, with these Marines and Marauders, going to be running in towards that 3rd. A couple of Colossus coming on over, but there's very little support for them. One of those Colossus could get focused down. The second one is also going to fall. This is a tremendous amount of damage to Socke. Botvinnik catching his opponent completely off guard, but he's taking a lot of damage behind this. There wasn't any real gateway support for those really expensive units. That means the 3rd is going to die, and Socke GG's out right there. Without the Colossus, he's got nothing. He played it very, very boldly with that tech, with the drops, but Botvinnik hitting him where it hurt. He takes game number 1.